Hi, today from Black Forest. Today I will tell you about my predictions in crypto for 2020. See you in the next part. My predictions in the crypto world for the year 2020. Let's start with analyzing my predictions from the last year. I will connect this video somewhere here, and also below this video you will find a link with my predictions for 2019. As I said in this previous video from last year, this is just a game. I am leaning myself out of the window, far out of the window, telling you maybe some crazy stuff, what can happen in the coming year. And I would be happy if 50% of that would actually happen. But, I'm myself pretty ambitious, so I want things to happen very quickly, very fast, and sometimes they just don't happen that fast. We will analyze them, and none of this is financial advice. I am not your financial advisor. This is just my thoughts, and don't invest your money based on that information as an advice. You can take my info, but you decide when, how, and how much you invest in any of the assets that I'm talking here about. This is absolutely not a financial advice, right? Okay, so let's start. I predicted a financial crisis in 2019. This didn't happen at the time of the recording. I'm recording this in the middle of December. So as of today, a global financial crisis didn't happen. Some people say it will never happen, and I think this is just a question of time. And maybe it will happen 2020, maybe even 21, but it didn't happen. So this prediction didn't materialize. The second prediction I made was that we will have a bull market in crypto in the run up to the halving, to Bitcoin mining halving, so to say. That will happen in May 2020. And I predicted that we may see the first rises in price, in the market capitalization in the end of 2019 or in the beginning of 2020. And I think this will happen, but we had already kind of a bull market because the price of Bitcoin doubled this year. But this is not what I meant. I'm sure you'll have this this run up, or this bull market in the run up, a short bull market in the run up. We will talk about that in the predictions for the next year. But we had a bull market, so this prediction partly materialized. I would say yes, it did materialize. So people who invested in Bitcoin in the beginning of 2019, where Bitcoin was below $4,000, we were at 3.7 or something. Right now, when I'm recording this, we are at 7.2, 7.3. So the price doubled. So in every other stock market, this would be considered a bull market, right? The third prediction was that 3 cryptocurrencies out of top 10 regarding the market capitalization, meaning top 10 on coinmarketcap.com, will drop out from top 10 cryptocurrencies on CoinMarketCap, and 40 will drop out from top 100 cryptocurrencies. And let's check it. When we compare the top 10 list from the beginning of the year and of today, as I said, I'm recording this in the middle of December, we see that Stellar and Tron, so 2 cryptocurrencies, dropped out from top 10, so it's not that bad. And 34 cryptocurrencies, so over 1/3 of all cryptocurrencies, dropped out from top 100. So it's not as bad as I suspected. I said 40 will drop out from top 100, but it dropped out 34. So let's say it almost materialized, but it's not as bad. I will read now for you all the cryptocurrencies that dropped out from top 100. It is Stratis, Gemini Dollar. It is Revain, Populus, Factom, Aurora, Kryptonex, Made Safe Coin, Bagheera Coin, Insight Chain, Mobile Go, DEX, PIVX, Decentraland, Walton Chain, Digitex Futures, Denta Coin, ARC, Polymath, Odem, Cash, Bancor, Maximine Coin, Ion, Elastos, Mixin, Redcoin, Bitcoin Private, Wenchain, Linky, Moac, Wox, and Zcoin. These are 34 or 33 coins that dropped out. So this prediction almost materialized. Let's go to the 4 prediction that I made. And I said we will see the first major STOs in the market. And major, I defined STOs with $100 million. And secure token STOs or secure token offerings. So you will see the tokenization of assets in a major scale. And we saw in 2019 banks involving in tokenization. And we had, for example, World Bank issuing $33.3 million in bonds called Bond I, or Societe Generale issued a covered bond of 100 million euro, roughly $110 million. And just recently, Santander also issued a first fully based on smart contracts, token-based bond in a volume of $20 million. So we could see Societe Generale already issuing STO or conducting an STO for over $100 million. But we could see also, and all these financial institutions, they are mainly involved in bonds. But we could see also tokenization outside of bonds. For example, this is a very, I will mention this one, Proxima Media, which is a content producer with 200 films and also music and TV productions. They issued token-based shares. It's called ProxyCoin that represent shares fractional ownership of the media that they produce, meaning TV productions, films, music productions. And they raised $100 million in this STO. So we had at least 2 STOs that raised over $100 million. So this prediction materialized. And we see involvement of banks, and there are at least 2 regulated platforms that allow STOs to happen, even in the States, or let's say globally. That will allow also more STOs to come in the next year, and we'll be talking about that in the predictions for 2020. Okay, the next prediction that I had, the 5th one, was that some of the behemoths of, let's say, techno behemoths of the big companies, really big companies, will issue their tokens, and we could really see Facebook issuing Libra, or at least announcing Libra, and also Walmart announced they own cryptocurrency. So we have 2 major companies, and Walmart is the largest retail company in the world, except for probably Amazon. So we could see two really big companies with a capitalization of over $100 billion that want to issue or announce to issue. And actually, Facebook Libra, the blockchain is operating as far as I know, but it is not switched on Facebook. But they have issued or they have announced that they will issue their own cryptocurrency. So this prediction also materialized. And the last prediction was that some of the central banks they build their reserves in crypto, but they are not talking about that yet. But 2009, I made a prediction that they will reveal that they actually create or keep some of their reserves in cryptocurrencies. This didn't materialize. This didn't happen yet. So we had, out of 6 predictions, 3 or 4, 4 materialized. This is actually, or materialized or partly materialized. This is actually pretty awesome, I would say. This is crazy. I wouldn't expect, I had like a pretty bold predictions. I always make bold predictions and say, let's play crazy and let's see what could happen in the crypto world. And usually, as I said, the reality isn't as fast as I would like it to be. But in this year, 2019, amazingly, 4 out of 6 of my predictions really materialized. Okay, let's switch to 2020. I will make some predictions for the year, and then I will make some, this is something new this year, longer term predictions, also with dates, but longer term dates. But I want to remind you, this is not a financial advice. I am not your financial advisor. This is just my thoughts, my crazy ideas. Some of them really bold. Let's see what happens, right? This is a game. Don't invest based on that information, okay? Let's start. First prediction, I predict a short bull market before halving. This is something that I made in 2019 already. We had a spike, but we will have a short period of bull market before the halving, probably. And as I said, I'm recording this in the middle of December. Maybe we'll see in the last 2 weeks of December a run up or a spike, but we will certainly see some bull market before the halving, a short bull market, then drop of the price, and then in the longer term we will come into this really mature bull market. But it doesn't mean there won't be a drop in 2020. Let's remember there is this risk of, let's say, Craig Wright selling his bitcoins if he has access to these 1 million bitcoins, or giving half of that to the Weinbergs, I guess are the names, or Weinsteins, the widow of Hal Finney, and they may be forced to sell some of these bitcoins to pay the taxes. So they may be also a major sell-off in the beginning or in the first half of 2020. But as I said, there will be a short bull market for sure. This is the first prediction that I make, for sure, as I said, not a financial advice, my ideas, my thoughts. Second prediction, Bitcoin price. I think Bitcoin will reach a new all-time high in 2020. It won't be, so to say, the highest in the coming bull market, but we will see an all-time high of Bitcoin in 2020 already. Short message, we'll see. Number 3, coming back to security token offerings, STOs. We will see really big STOs this year, 1 billion in value and more. 1 billion and more. You will remember my words. And this will be just the beginning of STOs, right? Then the prediction number 4, Several countries will issue digital currencies, and we will see big discussions on the global level with World Bank and so on about the role of digital cryptocurrencies or digital currencies or digital centralized currencies, let's call them this way, like country currencies, that what role they should play, could play, and the framework in they should operate, because this will be a major issue for the politics in the coming years. And we will see the beginning of the discussion on that level this coming year. And number 5, again, some central banks will admit they keep reserves in cryptocurrencies. Probably some exotic countries like maybe Barbados or I don't know, Montenegro, maybe countries like that, maybe Northern Korea, maybe Iran, maybe Venezuela, right? They will admit they keep the central banks, not the normal banks. Normal banks, for sure, we will see normal banks that will operate in crypto 2020. But we are talking about central banks that will keep their reserves in cryptocurrencies, that will admit, right? I think this will happen this year, finally. And then I'm giving you 3 long-term predictions. The first one, till 2024, we will see crypto cap, so the capitalization of all the crypto assets will outgrow the capitalization of gold. Right now we have a capitalization of gold, of all the gold reserves, of $8 trillion. And my prediction is that by 2024, the capitalization of all the crypto assets will be larger than that of gold. Okay, second long-term prediction. Again, 2024. By the end of 2024, we will see the wealthiest person in the world will be somebody who made his money in crypto. He or she will be the wealthiest person in the world at some point between now and end of 2024. The third long-term capitalization. Now we are looking 10 years ahead, because the last 2 predictions were 5 years ahead. 2029, third prediction. All stock exchange will be token-based. We'll have only security tokens. We won't have any centralized exchanges, I mean, in the sense of not tokenized assets, securities in the world. Every stock exchange will be tokenized, at least in the Western world. Let's restrict it to the Western world, to the civilized world, let's say it this way, right? 2029, in 10 years, we'll have only token-based securities. Okay, I'm curious what you think about my predictions from last year. What do you think about my predictions for the year 2020? What are your predictions for the year 2020? Leave your comment below. Subscribe to this channel if you like this video. Share this video with your loved ones, with your friends. One day they will thank you for that. I talk here a lot about money, about cryptocurrencies, about economy, about the best entrepreneurs in the world, the billionaires. I know 36 self-made billionaires personally, and I talk here about how they think and how they act and how to do great things in business, how to reach seemingly impossible goals in your life. So if you like this video, you will certainly like my other videos. I invite you to watch them. That's it for today. I wish you a fantastic day. Let's do something extraordinary today.